Howdy folks. Well, I just got down here again. I'm gonna give this spot I went after last Friday another go here in this cornfield. I'm gonna hunt out of a different stand this time. I've got a couple of Summit climbers and they each have their versatility and pros and cons. But last week I hunted out of the open shot. It's a smaller stand than my Broadhead Backpacker that I have here. And Broadhead Backpacker's got about 4 inches more on the base. See, spread out just a little bit more. I got a bow holder attached to it here, because you don't want to be screwing anything in the trees and stuff down here in conservation land. And the thing I like about them is that the broadhead folds flat, Broadhead Backpacker, and then you can open it back up and undo this little screw right here, and then close them together, and then hook it up like that, and then you're ready to climb the tree. And I like this too. The seat actually goes back and hooks around a tree. That way when you're ready for that moment of truth, that shot that counts. I missed a couple of them last week. Then you don't have to peel your camo off the tree to get a shot. Sometimes you end up sticking to a tree, you know, depending on what it is, but it's more comfortable. It's a little bit heavier stand too, 5-6 pounds heavier than the open shot. I think the open shot weighed in about 14 pounds, and Broadhead Backpacker here is about 20. But I've had the Broadhead Backpacker, I think, for maybe 5 years, 6, I'm not sure, and the open shot about half that. I like them both though. My hat goes off to the Missouri Department of Conservation. This is one gigantic food plot, fellas, guys and gals, all of you who are working hard at the Conservation Department. Thank you so much for your efforts. It does really help the wildlife in our area, and it really helps for a more enjoyable time in the outdoors when you kind of have a little bit of an idea where they're going to be. This is a super late season food source. Pretty cool. This is something else. I'm standing at the northwesterlymost end of this standing cornfield here, panning north and then east here, pretty much southeast down the south edge of the rows there. All this timber here is a creek. There's a couple of creeks that come together here. this time I set my stand up just a little bit different angle here so I can... Those deer last Friday were coming from the west. So I'm going to see if I can still watch this trail here that I'm on and keep a better eye on the field to the west over here. So we're going to go ahead and get settled in. Sitting here watching over this trail that's coming up out of this creek bottom that comes into this corn. And right now, just before 3:30, that sun is hitting that field pretty good. But it won't be too long, and the shadows will be growing along on that field. And those deer are going to feel mighty comfy out there. What winds there are today here are extremely light. We're maybe 5 miles an hour out of the south. So they're really not that big of a deal. These are the kind of days I love to hunt, because you can really hear stuff moving around in the woods. It got up to, I'd say maybe 55 today. But here south of Kansas City, we are kind of on the edge of a front change here coming through on Saturday. Possible rain and snow. Not a lot of precipitation, but it depends on who you listen to. Anyway, that's the kind of weather pattern that gets them out in the fields and gets them ready to try to hunker down for whatever's coming. So, we'll see what happens.